I am Ajit Kumar. I am son of late Ajit Kumar, on whose behalf I have come here to receive this honor posthumous. In 1971, I believe I was 24 years old when all this thing happened. I vividly remember the 25th March announcement, that famous Ghore Ghore Durgo Gore Tolo and all these things. My father used to represent United Press International at that point of time. UPI, it was in short. UPI at that time was the world's largest news agency based in America. In addition to that, he was the correspondent of now Bangladesh I don't know whether it is now, I think it is now dormant. That time previously it was Pakistan Observer. And when this entire thing started, this Mukti Sangram started, he was deeply involved as a professional man, as a professional journalist, one. He was also side by side was a teacher. He used to teach for 30 years in the postgraduate in Calcutta University journalism. And he was a teacher. He is basically having economics background, or the principal of a premier college in Calcutta. So professionally in one side, he wanted to motivate the students on the other side. And there was another side that originates from his professional liaison, professional rapport with the world statesman. When I was coming here, I was reading a letter he addressed to Professor Henry Kissinger, who was then they call it Secretary of the State. My father met him in Harvard University long back. That time he was the head of the international relations, sort of that. So my father greatly appealed, and the content of the thing was that, I know you have your limitations, my father said. You have your political compulsions, but you should see and you should know what's happening at this part of the world. With a little bit of interference from your end, this genocide may be handled in a better way. And American government, that's the main point, can be compelled to restrain these sort of activities. This letter, I think, is very important. And I remember Professor Henry Kissinger replied in very short that I do understand your emotions because you belong to that state and your professional obligations also. I will see what I can do. This one thing. My father was a good friend of the then king of Bhutan, Jigme Singye Wangchuk. He expired in 1973. So my father, we had a personal rapport. These people, Henry Kissinger came to my house in Calcutta. This king also came to my house in Calcutta. It was a modest house, but these people were not modest. Anyway, it's a different story. Then my father said, the king of Bhutan, that you should visit the camps that was set up in Parashad, in the northern Chobbish Pargona area, I think 30, 40 kilometers from Kolkata. Thousands of people came from this part of Bengal to there. So he went, and that was the first visit of a head of a state in a camp. And in a very, very modest way, he asked upon the king to give little bit of donations, sort of a perpetual thing, not one time, 1 lakh, 2 lakh. When some people will come, different people have different needs, treatment, otherwise. So small bit of contribution, as king could afford, that small Himalayan country Bhutan could afford, was to be given to these fellows. Other thing is that he had some advantage because it was the American news agency. And that time there was no net, nothing, and all this thing. We had an office in the heart of the city. It is just opposite the Statesman House. It's called Tower House. Tower House was a place during Mukti Juddha. All the journalists from any part of the world used to visit because every evening there was a gathering. All this. So my father used to organize their visit and all these things, special coverage through the agency and all these things. I remember not a single day he came back home late night or he was out for the coverage. He had brought some people in fact my mother was very unhappy on some of the. It was 11 o'clock at night. Usually in a mediocre house, if the guests come, you have to feed him, all these things. I remember on occasion that story I tell everybody. It may be interesting. He brought 2-3 persons, 2 or 3. It was 12 o'clock past. And the sweet shops are closed. Nothing. So I said in Bengali, "Ekhon ki hobe?" My mother also said, "Tomar raat birat gyan nei, you have no sense of the timing." He said, "No, there is a place where you can food all over the night. It is opposite the crematorium." In Hindu custom, when people go for cremation, after cremation, the relatives of the deceased, they feed some sweets and all this. So you go, my father told me, you take the car, you go there. Incidentally, it was 1.5 kilometers far. So I went, I bought that parota, aloo and all these things. These things, it continued. So I used to take photographs. I remember once he said, "I have taken a photograph which will create sensation." I said, "What photograph?" So he gave me a photograph. He says, "See this." My God. I saw one, they call it Mukti Joddha. Mukti Joddha was carrying a beheaded head. Head was hanging, he was hanging from the here. He said, that fellow told me, "Khansenar matha loye jayesi." At that point of time, UPI Bureau in Kolkata was vibrant. And at his time, not that I am his son, my father was a popular name in Kolkata that time. And Kolkata was a heart center. Enter war, heart center is Kolkata, not the Delhi. Madam Indira Gandhi taking the decisions. But things are happening in here. Mujibnagar is here. Chokumia from Kolkata. Everybody is from here. All these political giants, they have all taken shelter in Kolkata. Arms is being collected. Fund is being given. So, if you are here, suppose we are 6 persons here. Now you are here. If you go back in a similar situation, maybe in a bigger magnitude, you will have a better control. Same thing happened. My father would have been the happiest. But he is not here. I have come to think